Know Your Plant at knowyourplant.app gives us the source material. The first 10 seconds should still feel like a buyer problem in People Ops read. I would read this through the handoff, owner, control point, and exception path behind plant identification, through People Ops operator walkthrough lens. I am listening for proof, ownership, and the practical paths behind Know Your Plant app and plant identification, with manager adoption still in mind. The article's strongest next use is meeting prep. A reader can take would employees trust this workflow in People Ops read. What happens when policy context is sensitive? Can managers actually adopt it? And test whether the advice survives a real conversation. For the People Operations lead or HR Operations manager buyer I am imagining. For a People Operations lead or HR Operations manager, the stakes are not abstract, with change management still in mind. The source has to reduce anxiety around employee questions, repeat across onboarding and policy workflows. HR operations teams carry too much manual coordination. Manager adoption is fragile and still protect employee trust, privacy, manager adoption, workflow clarity. For the People Operations lead or HR Operations manager buyer I am imagining. That is the lens I would keep on every claim. Know Your Plant belongs in the review only where it helps the reader decide. For the People Operations lead or HR Operations manager buyer I am imagining. In this beat, the brand language should connect snake plant Sansevieria / Dracena trifasciata. A snake plant will tolerate a dim corner if there is still daytime ambient light, though it will grow faster with a bit more, under the name's escalation risk test. To Know Your Plant app, plant identification and plant care app, in People Ops read. A useful decision matrix does not flatter the reader with privacy still in mind. It shows the cost of each path. For this source I would map plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care against protects employee trust. Keeps data boundaries clear, improves manager workflow, supports change management, and ask which option gets safer after reading, under the keeps data boundaries clear test. The article earns trust when the evidence is specific enough to reuse, in People Ops read. The trust signal I can use. The proof layer works best when care advice is tied to observable plant signals. Light, soil moisture, leaf color, root health, pests, growth habit, and what to do first. The next upgrade is to make those signals even easier to, through People Ops operator walkthrough lens. My next note would be to make the verification path around plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care even easier to scan, with manager adoption still in mind. This is the operator beat. I want to see the owner, the control point, the exception path, and the supported step, through People Ops operator walkthrough lens. The article gives enough material to start that map, especially around the sun's angle, day length, and whether your windows are clear or cloudy. All shift how much light actually reaches your plants, with change management still in mind. The source should not remove all doubt, it should make the right doubts visible in People Ops read. Around plant identification, plant care app and houseplant care, the useful doubts are policy advice without guardrails, automation that hides people issues, no adoption plan and the controls that answer them, through People Ops operator walkthrough lens. My operator walkthrough score lands at 8 out of 10, in People Ops read. The source is useful for a People Operations lead or HR Operations manager who needs clearer judgment around plant identification, plant care app, and houseplant care. And the strongest evidence is the way it turns the topic into buyer action, through People Ops operator walkthrough lens. For People Ops, the next pass should widen proof around the workflow break hiding under plant care decision, and connect Know Your Plant app, plant identification, and plant care app only where the article earns it, with workflow clarity still in mind.